Why is this still not done, Sarah? His voice cut through the office like something sharp. Everyone went quiet. Sarah froze, standing near the conference table, holding a printed report she had already revised 3 times. I, I sent you the final version last night, she said, her voice smaller than she intended. Her boss didn't even look at her. Then you sent the wrong one. A few people lowered their eyes. Someone pretended to check their phone. And in that moment, something inside Sarah didn't just hurt. It cracked. Because this wasn't new. It wasn't a bad day. It was every day. And for the first time in 3 years, she didn't feel like fixing it. Sarah Mitchell was a project coordinator at a mid-sized marketing agency in Denver. Not a bad job on paper, decent salary, flexible hours. A team that, on the surface, looked supportive. But her boss, Daniel, changed everything. Every morning started the same. 6:30 a.m. alarm. Quick shower. Black slacks, neutral blouse, low heels. She'd grab a coffee, always too hot to drink, and sometimes a bagel she'd barely touch. Then the commute. Suburban streets turning into busy downtown traffic. Red lights. Podcasts playing in the background she wasn't really listening to. By the time she reached the office, her chest already felt tight. Daniel had a way of making everything feel urgent, and never enough. Why is this late? Did you even double check this? This is basic, Sarah. He never yelled loudly. That was the strange part. His tone stayed calm, but cold. Sharp. Precise. Like he was always disappointed. At first, Sarah tried harder. Stayed late, triple-checked everything, volunteered for extra work. She wanted to prove herself. Her flaw? She took everything personally. Every comment felt like a judgment of who she was, not just what she did. At home, things weren't much better. She lived alone in a small apartment. Clean, quiet, a little too quiet. Her mom would call sometimes. "You sound tired," her mother said one evening. "I'm just busy," Sarah replied, staring at her laptop, unfinished emails blinking on the screen. "You should take care of yourself." "I will." But she didn't. Instead, she kept pushing, because a part of her believed, if I just get it right, he'll finally respect me. The breaking point came on a Monday morning. The office smelled like burnt coffee. Someone had overfilled the machine again. Sarah had spent the entire weekend finishing a client presentation. Slides polished, data verified, graphics clean. She felt ready. Until Daniel walked in. He flipped through the slides quickly, too quickly. Then he stopped. "This?" he said. Sarah leaned forward. "What's wrong?" He turned the laptop toward her. A minor formatting issue. One chart slightly misaligned. "It's sloppy," he said. Her stomach dropped. "I can fix that in 2 minutes. That's not the point." His voice stayed calm, but his words hit harder. "If you can't handle details, maybe this role isn't for you." Silence. Someone in the room shifted uncomfortably. Another person avoided eye contact. Sarah felt heat rise to her face. "I worked all weekend on this," she said quietly. Daniel shrugged. "Then maybe you wasted your weekend." That was it. No shouting, no scene, just dismissal. Something inside her tightened. Not anger yet, not courage, just something heavy. And for the first time, a thought crossed her mind she had been avoiding for years. What if this isn't me? What if it's him? That night, Sarah didn't open her laptop. She sat on her couch, still in her work clothes, shoes off, staring at the ceiling. Her phone buzzed. A message from a coworker, "Hey, don't take today personally." He's like that with everyone. She read it twice. Then another message came, from someone else. "Honestly, it's not you." She stared at the screen. For years, she had believed she was the problem. Too slow, too careless, not good enough. But now, there was doubt. The next day at work, she noticed things she had ignored before. How Daniel interrupted people, how he took credit for ideas, how no one spoke up, not because they agreed, but because they were tired. That realization didn't fix everything, but it shifted something. Slightly. Subtly. Sarah stopped apologizing for things that weren't mistakes. Can you redo this? Daniel asked one afternoon. Can you clarify what needs to change? She replied. A small sentence, but it felt huge. He paused, just for a second, then gave actual feedback. It wasn't a victory, but it wasn't defeat either. At home, she started journaling. Nothing dramatic, just small notes. What actually went wrong today? Was that my fault? For the first time, she separated facts from feelings. And slowly, she began to see the pattern. This wasn't growth through challenge. It was damage through control. But awareness didn't make things easier. In fact, it made them harder. Because now, she saw everything clearly. And still, she stayed. One late evening, the office was almost empty. Just the hum of computers and distant traffic outside. Sarah sat at her desk, staring at an email Daniel had sent. Disappointed in your performance lately. Her chest tightened again. Even after everything she had realized, the words still hurt. Deeply. She closed her eyes, tried to breathe, but something inside her broke open. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet exhaustion. She walked to the break room, no lights on, just the glow from the vending machine. She stood there, doing nothing. A full minute passed. Then another, and in that silence, a simple truth hit her. Staying here is hurting me more than leaving ever could. That thought scared her, because leaving meant uncertainty, risk, failure. But staying? That meant slowly losing herself. The next morning felt different, not easier, but clearer. Sarah woke up before her alarm. The sky still dark, early morning quiet. She made coffee, sat by the window. No phone, no distractions, just thinking. For the first time in years, she asked herself a different question. What do I actually want? Not what Daniel expected, not what looked good on paper, what she wanted. The answer wasn't big, not a dream job, not success, just peace, respect, space to breathe. That day at work, something shifted again. Daniel criticized a report. You missed the point here, Sarah looked at him. Calm. I followed the brief you gave, she said. A pause. If something's different now, I can adjust it. But I'll need clarity. The room went quiet. Not because she was loud, but because she wasn't shrinking. Daniel frowned slightly. Then, explained. No insult, no dismissal, just explanation. It was subtle, but it mattered. That night, Sarah updated her resume. Her hands shook a little. Doubt crept in. What if I'm not good enough anywhere else? But she kept typing. One application, then another. Rejection emails came. Of course they did, but something had changed. They didn't break her the same way, because now she knew. Her worth wasn't defined by one person. A year later, Sarah still thought about that office sometimes. The cold tone, the tight mornings, the constant pressure. But she wasn't there anymore. She worked at a smaller team now. Different city, different pace. Her mornings started slower. Coffee by the window, soft music. No anxiety in her chest. Her new manager once told her, "You're really detail-oriented." She almost laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it used to be the thing she doubted most. One afternoon, a new hire looked nervous during a meeting. Quiet, hesitant. Sarah recognized it instantly. After the meeting, she walked over. You did fine, she said. The person looked surprised. Really? Yeah, Sarah smiled. You don't have to be perfect here. And for the first time, she realized something. She didn't just leave that environment. She outgrew it. Toxic environments don't always look loud. Sometimes they're quiet, subtle, constant, and over time, they make you question yourself. There's a study showing that nearly 60% of employees say their manager impacts their mental health more than their salary. Sarah lived that reality. But her change didn't start when she left. It started when she stopped believing everything she was told about herself. So here's something simple. Tonight, write down one criticism you've been carrying and ask yourself, Is this actually true? Not emotionally, factually. And then ask, who would I be if I stopped believing this? Because sometimes the biggest change isn't quitting your job, it's finally choosing yourself.